Hello everyone, welcome to another fun session with me. I am Sanyukta Saxena, certified Zentangle teacher, and today is the third session in our alphabet borders series, wherein we are combining our knowledge of Zentangle with alphabet shapes and creating beautiful border tangles, right? So we have already done two vowels, that is A and U. Yeah. Today we will be playing around with the sound O. So O, you have an option to either use it, draw it round, or you can also draw it oval. So that's one option that is available. Now, OB or O, there are so many fragments already available and issued by Zentangle headquarters as far as the O shape is concerned, right? So I'm not basically going to play with the inside, right? So you can always use O or the round shape as a fragment, and then as a reticula, and place a lot of different fragments inside. So let us deviate from that and play around with the spaces inside, or spaces between those two orbs, or play with the arrangement, or something different. Yeah, not with fragments, because there are already a lot of fragments available, right? So let's get started and see how we can create beautiful borders with O. Yeah. So as I told you, you have the option of either keeping it round or oval. That's entirely up to us, right? So sometimes we'll use absolute round shape, sometimes we'll use the oval shape. So I have started with this oval kind of shape, and there is one more aura inside. Yeah. And they are at a distance from each other. So as I mentioned, we'll be playing with the spaces between, right, instead of playing with the spaces inside, right? Because as I mentioned, there are a lot of options already available for playing with inside of an orb. So let's see, right, if we can create something interesting. So this is the orb or the O shape. I am now going to connect these by these C shapes, or curved lines on both sides like this. Yeah, the classic C shape, which we generally use in a lot of patterns in Zentangle, like Bunzo, Molgon, so many, right? So once we have done that, I'm just going to add something like zenith, what we do in the pattern zenith, right? So drawn a V, straight and inverted V, just like creating petals on both sides, just like we do in the pattern zenith. Yeah. Small little things that we can do to enhance the look of our O's. So I hope you are enjoying the series. I love to read your comments. Thank you. Right, so just a hidden one here. Yeah, and then we'll just add lines inside, probably thicker lines. So I'm adding a little weight to the line. Since we have space, you can also add mild curve, right? So that's about it. That's what I'm going to do. Add some lines, slight curve. Yeah. So once we are done with that, it is up to us if we want to add something else, or we can leave it here also, or if you want, you can add those small pearls that we generally add in zenith also. So basically adding orbs in between my zenith, big ones, the O's, right? So that's what I've done here. Yeah, and one small thing I'm going to do is add some shadow or some boldness on one side of the orb, inner orb, as if it is a window or something, right? Small little things that you can do to enhance the look of the tangle. Right? So that's it. I have combined zenith and the orbs together. So let's get to shading it first. I'm not going to get into too much shading, just one side in the inner orb and then on both sides of the border. Yeah. Yeah, and then blend it. Then blend both sides. Generally, that's the way we blend borders. We shade our borders, that is, adding darkness to both sides and highlighting the center. Generally works for all borders. Yeah, so let us now pick up our project that we are working on, the bigger sheet of paper on which we are working, right? And then I'll just pick up one of the sections randomly and add my pattern there also, right? The same thing. So let us pick up this section, probably this one. So I'm going to add the orbs first. A hidden one here probably. Probably I'll draw from the other side because I don't want to spoil my shading. Right? Nice oval shapes, and then you can straight away add that slight weight inside on one side to give the effect of a shadow, right? And then we'll draw these curves. Yeah, and then we will create that zenith. Yeah, and then the lines inside auras. So if you want, you can add something else inside also instead of auras. I like it this way, but again, this is a space. You can add something like bales. Yeah, try just adding curves just the way you do for bales. I think that would also look nice, be fun. Yeah, one more here. Yeah, and then the small little orbs. whatever spaces we have. Yeah, right. So we'll shade a little later. Let us move on to our next. So the next one, I am going to add a little more round shape. This is also O, right? So one big and one small. Again, one big and one small, right? One big, one small, one big, one small, one big and one small, right? So this is another way you can set up your O's. One more aura inside the smaller ones. Again, a little weight on one side really makes them look like bubbles, right? Now I'm going to add one muka in each. Like this. Yeah, nice, lying around lazily inside the orbs. Yeah, and you can also add one more like this. Yeah, right, done with that. Now the third step, I'm going to add one straight line and two curved lines on both sides like this. So one hidden one here, curved line, straight line, curved line, right? Straight line, curved line, curved line. Yeah, looks like two eyes to me. Probably this is a smile, these are two eyes, and if I just add a nose, I would be sorted. Yeah. So just have fun with the shapes, right? So once we have done that, I'll just go ahead and add some weight. So center one, I'm adding a V shape and then basically adding weight in the form of V shapes. Yeah, simple. Also connect it now. Like this. Yeah. So I'll do the same for all. Adding a V. Yeah. Yeah, That's about it. Now it is up to you. You want to do something inside more or you want to leave it here. Let us see, right? We'll first shade it and we'll see if we want to do something else also, right? So what I'm going to do here is add shading probably here. So we don't want to complicate it too much, so let us keep it simple and see if something appears to be missing on the face of it, then we can always go ahead and add. And we can add endlessly, so there is no limit to what you can add, right? So let us first shade and see how does the look turn out to be, and then we can decide on. Just having fun arranging my orbs and O's in different ways, trying to figure out which way they look nice, which position, which arrangement. Yeah, so I want you to do the same. Just take this as cues or ideas and then explore more the way I showed you in the previous session also, with just the U leaf, right? You can add different things in between and the look of the pattern varies. Yeah, so I think it is looking pretty nice like this only. We don't need to do much, but if you want, you can add some rounding here, some bit of character at the places where lines are turning and merging, a little weight, and that's about it. We don't need to do anything else. Yeah, such a small thing to do, but add so much. I think we missed here some rounding and some lines. Yeah, that's about it, right? So let us transfer this pattern to our sheet. So I'm going to use one more section here, right? And then again start the way I did. Add bigger orb, one smaller one here, smaller orb, bigger orb, smaller orb, yeah, bigger orb, and finally the last one. Yeah, again the same exercise. Add one more inside, add some weight on one side to give them the look of bubbles. Yeah, then you can go ahead and add the mukas. So I'm just rotating the tile and add one on the same side first. Sleeping mukas. Wow, that's a nice term. Sleeping mukas. And then rotating and starting from the other side. Yeah. And then we move on to our lines. So one in the center and one in the sides. So you can see what simple strokes, line, curved lines, and what we already know in Zentangle can create. Right, so now I'll go on and add that weight. So just adding that small weight here and there that I mentioned. Yeah, and we are done, right? So let us move on to one more. So again, a different kind of an arrangement. I'll be using more of oval shape here. So I'm going to start with an incomplete oval like this, right? And then again add one more like this. Add something under here. Add a little boneless on one side. So that's one, right? Again add an incomplete oval like this. Again go around as if this oval is getting inside the other one, and then add a little boldness on the outside. Yeah, again one incomplete oval like this. Adding a small little weight to the outside, right? Using the same shape but it a little differently. Yeah, so it looks like some loop or something. I don't know what to call it. I've still not thought of names for them, but we shall do that before we end our series so that it is easier for you to refer. One small, right, again one more, so just maintaining that flow, one horizontal, one vertical, both kind of incomplete in a way. Yeah, again and the last one. Right, so now small things that we can do. Again add aura inside this. So now it is up to you. I have given a broad outline. Now you can do lot of things inside. Yeah, so choose a pattern of your choice. Aura is the simplest thing and very integral part of Zentangle, so that's why I try and use it as much as possible, at least in this series, because it is easiest thing to do, just mimicking the outer shape, right? Yeah, now you can either keep it like this or you can add something in these spaces also, right? So it's entirely optional If you want, you can ink it. If you want, you can leave it as it is. So you can just join these lines. Add any other pattern of your choice, whatever you feel like. So I'm just going to keep it simple and ink it just the way the shape is, right? So done with the inking part, let us now shade. So let us see how do we want to shade it. I don't want to be shading it too much. Just the center line. And where we have added that weight to the line. Yeah, I think that's about it. We don't need to add anything else. So moving on to our next section here, I'm going to do the same exercise. So start with part of an O, add some weight here and a cap here. Move to the next. A cap here and some weight here. Yeah. Move to the next. So moving on to auras inside. So now you can either ink it the way I have done it here, or you can add something else, up to us. Small little spaces. What do we want to do? Entirely up to us. There is no dearth of ways in which you can enhance. You can add something else. Again moving on to the other side. So I'm just drawing a U shape, V shape, and adding a small moon inside. Looks so complex, right? But you know how we started drawing it, so right. So let us leave it here and we will come back to it for shading. So let's try one more, and so what I'm going to do now is draw a real fun one and draw some butterflies using my orbs. Yeah, so big O, another one intersecting it, again another one not intersecting the other one, another one intersecting it, then simple orb, the other one intersecting it. My daughter actually really liked this one because it was easy for her to connect, so I thought why not, you know. So I'm going to ink these spaces. This is a real fun one. You can add a little more to it. Yeah. Yeah, simple. Any guesses what I'm going to do next? Add two tentacles. Yeah. So now what we'll do is add an aura. Add two fescues like this. And then I'm just going to convert this into a butterfly. Yeah, add some orbs at the end. Cool. Again, fill in these small little spaces. Add these small orbs at the end. And you're done. Yeah. So I'll do the same for the rest. Go ahead and add these petal shapes. Same on the other side. Small little spaces left in between. You can easily add triangles, either ink it completely or add auras inside it. Yeah, so I'll do that for these two also. And our butterflies are ready to fly. Yeah. So a little bit of shading here and there. Probably here. And then on the ends. Yeah, and let us just blend it. So blend it in a way that you have a highlight in between. This space should be white. Yeah. So it's been fun turning a circle or an orb or an O into a butterfly. Yeah, that's about it. Let us now transfer it to our project that we are working on. So I'm going to pick up my pen and then add those. Oh, that's an 08. Yeah. So two of them crossing each other. Again a simple one. Again one more crossing the other one. Again a simple one. And again one more crossing the other one. Yeah. And something here. Simple one. Yeah. And then we can also add auras here, but some amount of inking always looks nice. Yeah, so 3 butterflies here. You can go ahead and embellish the way you want. These are just ideas. Make them your own. Play around. Right, and then these small little fescues. And then add the petal shapes. Ink the remaining. Add some orbs at the end. If you want, you can add some fescues here also, just a small little thing. Yeah, again on the other side. Yeah, some orbs at the ends and small little fescues. Yeah, that's about it. So let me do that exercise for others also. So almost finishing with my butterflies. Yeah, that's about it. So let us now move on to shading, right? So first one that we drew was this one. So let us shade it. So this time I am going to add inside because my zeniths are pretty small, and if I add on both sides they will be almost invisible. So I am adding on the inside. Yeah, makes sense. So make sure you leave a highlight in the center. Yeah, that's about it. So this white highlight is important. You can re-emphasize it with your chalk also, right? So we move on to our next. So I'm going to add the inside. can also add to the pods, but I think that will be too much of shading inside, so let us just highlight the orb. If you don't want to highlight the orb, you can add shading to the mocha heads, the pod heads. Yeah, so again on both sides here. Yeah, so we don't need to add anything else. I think that's sufficient. Then moving on to our butterflies. Yeah, just blend. And to the last one. And probably we'll add on the outside. And blend. I'm adding to the outside because it will add some shade to this petal shapes that we have drawn. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. We are done. Right, so many borders we have drawn till now, and still 2 vowel sounds to go, right? So hope you are enjoying the series, and I'll meet you again with probably I'll do an I or a E the next session. So till then, have a good time. Bye bye, take care.